Hey there. Before we get into kind of the meat of this video, I just wanted to share a little bit of the reason why I started to make these videos in the first place, and it kind of explains my approach to this particular video, so that's why I'm mentioning it. One of the things I've noticed is the e-devices, e-ink devices, particularly e-note-taking, maybe to a lesser degree e-readers as well, is kind of difficult for someone kind of coming in to this product class because you can't just go out to the store in most cases and get hands on any of these devices. Sometimes, occasionally, you might get lucky. You might have a friend that has one, or there might be a store that has something on display, but that's the exception. It's not the rule. So part of what I try to do in these videos is I take devices that you wouldn't otherwise see and I put those devices front and center. So you get less of this and more of this. And that's the purpose of today's video. I really want to spend most of this video with the device front and center, and so you can see for yourself what it's like to work with the Mobiscribe Wave. I'll provide commentary just to help frame things, but ultimately the goal is just to give you your own impressions of the device and to see if it might be worth something that you'd be interested in. Now, having said that, once we start the video, we're only going to see the device in these hands, and this is actually what I want to talk about briefly. One of the criticisms that I've received, and a valid criticism, is that I'm using my finger when I focus on the device to do the navigation, and that gets in the way. And the minute I saw that, I knew, yes, that's right, I should use the stylus instead. It would be better that way. And I had that thought process going into recording this video, but it just didn't quite work out that way. So I just want to say two things. Number one is I understand this is something I need to work on, and in general. And number two, I kind of tried to do that with the device. I ran into some barriers. I filmed everything before I realized to some degree how much I was relying on my fingers. And so, long story short, I'm going to work on that going forward. I do think, though, that despite the fact that sometimes it gets a little bit in the way, particularly toward the end of the video, I still think that you're able to see what you need to see in the video. I just could have done it a little bit better, and I do promise to try to do that going forward. The last thing I want to comment on before we get into this is that sometimes you'll hear me kind of make phrases like, it's good for its price point, or I might compare it to books, and it'll start to feel like I'm getting into review territory a little bit. And this video is not a review. So a lot of what you're hearing are really some of my impressions that I'm kind of blurting out as I'm going through the process of going through the device. And I really, even now, haven't completely coalesced my thoughts into a review. So that's going to come in a later video, and I'll try to frame things more properly then. But just know, in the context of this video, it's really more about me reacting and less about me making a review commentary. And in some cases, I worry that I might have used it in a way that might be kind of demeaning or diminishing the device a little bit, and that's not really my intention. So just take those phrases flippantly, and that's pretty much the sense of in which they were offered. The last thing I'll say before we jump right in is just please subscribe. Again, we've got the review that's going to be coming out, and so subscribing will allow you to be aware of that when it's releasing. And I hope to do more devices in the future and record more videos, so a lot more to come, and you'll be right on top of that with me if you subscribe, which I would very much appreciate. Okay, with having said all that, let's get right into it, and let's feature the Mobiscribe Wave. We're going to look at the UI, we're going to look at the note-taking app, we're going to look at the reading app, and we're just going to get right into the detail of what this device does. Let's do it. Okay, let's do a little walkthrough. This is the Mobiscribe Wave. This is the black and white version. And we're just going to look through the UI of the main system, look a little bit at the UI for note-taking and the UI for reading, and maybe a couple other miscellaneous things, just to get a real feel for what this device does or doesn't do, if that's the case. So we'll go ahead in sleepy mode. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the power button here. There we go. And this is the entry-level screen. Let me move this over a little bit. There we go. Now, just real quickly, looking at this top bar here, we've got a back button, a home button, this is basically looking at any open apps right there, and then this is a refresh button, which is kind of nice. You've got your time, you've got your Wi-Fi signal here. This is an interesting, this is a couple things. Number one, it's a shortcut to the system tray. Here we go. And this includes whether your Wi-Fi's on, Bluetooth, you can take a screenshot from here. You do have audio, so you've got some an alarm, a notification, some music. You can see some speakers right there. And then there's front lighting, which turns on. And then you can turn that into either, you can do the intensity or warm or cold. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so right now it's on, there's full cold, there's full warm. Now notice that when you turn on the front lighting, this turns from a dot to a circle. Let's turn that off and you can see that again. Okay, it's kind of cool. There's also a button here on top, as we talked about in the unboxing, and I'll just show that real quick so you can see that. Oops, a little too close. It's a little blurry, but this is the power button and this is the front lighting button. I've never seen a dedicated front lighting button, so it's kind of neat. Right now we've got a ring light up above, so we don't need the use of front lighting. Then you've got a couple toggles that talk about the dark scale of the device, and so and it's demonstrated here by this contrast bar. So let's just look at the extremes. Let's go all the way here. Okay, see it becomes almost all black, and then let's go all the way here. Okay, and there's this threshold also changes the contrast. So for me, I've been finding having it about there is just about perfect. You've got also a refresh button here. Let's click on that. Oh, restart, sorry. Refresh is here. And then you've got a power button, and then you've got your settings button. And you can also click on the settings button either here or up here. Go ahead and click on that. Let's get rid of the system tray. There we go. Oops. And here you've got your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, you've got battery settings. Let's click on that. So normally the battery is just displayed as an icon. Oh, actually looks like we can change that. Yeah, there we go. We can add the battery percentage. You've got storage here. Okay, pretty standard for an Android device. By the way, I didn't mention this, but this on the unboxing, but this is Android 12, which actually is unusual. Most Android-based e-ink devices are currently on the more antiquated Android 11. The main difference, I think, is really around security of the device. But anyway, just nice to have the latest. Here's the sound. Again, we saw that in these options in the drop-down bar. And then there's some other. I'll go ahead and turn that on so we can hear some of the sounds. Okay. Display. We talked about front lighting. We've already, these things were all represented in the system tray. And okay, there is a wake function. I didn't realize that. I didn't think it had one. So this is the case, which we showed in the unboxing video, can do the wake function, meaning that when you open the case, it will automatically turn on. So that's pretty good. I thought that was missing, so that's a nice, let's scroll and see what else we have here. And then of course you've got your sleep and timeouts. Security. I don't choose to do a lock, but you can. Let's see, Play Store. Let's take a look at that. Okay, and the place then to do feedback as well, and you can send a direct report from this device. So pretty standard stuff, but not bad. Let's return to the home screen. And then you've got access, you've got your shortcuts here for notes and books, but you can click on notes to go just into the note category, and there's different ways you can add notes. There's also different ways to sort them, which I believe is what this is. Yep, you have different sorts. So pretty nice selection of options. Let's take a look at the sort options. Right, so either the modification date, the name, or when it was created. So that's not bad. Let's look at preview. Okay, thumbnail or default. You can import notes. Let's see what that looks like. Let's say ordinary. Okay, there's nothing in backup, so that's fine. Let's see. Manage. If we had notes, we'd be able to manage them. They have bookmarking, and then you can back up and you can delete files. So pretty robust, and you can let's see. This is like a quick note. Let's go ahead and get out of that. Or actually, I guess they're both notes, but this is a landscape and this is portrait. But they're both quick. Yeah, there we go. They are both quick notes, so we'll show the difference on what a normal note-taking looks like. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Okay, and then you can create folders as well. Let's just go ahead and do that. Yeah, folder, that's fine. So pretty standard, but I would say relatively well robust file system. So not bad. Very similar. Actually, what does this one do? What's this person thing do? Okay, you can, this Mobis, I don't know about Mobisshare, so we'll skip that for now. Let's go into books. Okay, I downloaded a book earlier. I'll show you how I did that. Here's a PDF with the user manual. You do need to download that as well. And looks like this is, not sure if that was like a refresh. You can create folders, so you can organize your books in folders. There's a search function. And then you can change the view. Okay, so a list versus a grid. Okay, click on book title. See, those are your options there. You can import, manage again, so select multiple ones. In theory, you could anyway. And let's see what else. And then you can delete files. Okay, then you've got this little calendar function. And then here we can click on a particular date. And it looks like there's 3 sections here, so I'm not sure what all the sections do. I know this section is in the calendar itself. So let's go ahead and don't mind that sound. That's my printer in the background. So if we get out of this date, then you can see that marking there. So that's kind of neat. If I put notes here, they won't show up. I'll just do that right now. See, the hidden doesn't show up. You just have to click on the calendar to get to it. And then create, right? You can create either a note or event right here. Okay, and then, we've got a little settings button down here. So we can look at this in landscape mode. We can change the look of it, and then we can try to back up and import calendar as well. And if we go into tools, this is kind of the app drawer. And so we've got, files, we've got an images file. This is a download, so I downloaded from the Google Play Store. It looks like this is running again. So that's excellent. Yep, there you go. Now, in the unboxing video, I went in to register it. And after I filmed that video, I went back in, and this was live. So that was very quick. But then when I looked at it today, which is a couple days later, the Play Store had disappeared. So by going through the menu, we were able to reactivate it. So just know that it might involve a little bit of tweaking, but I was initially able to get on fairly quickly. There is a store that Mobiscribe has. Let's go ahead and click on that guy right there. There we go. Remember, all the clicking you're hearing is because we turned that on. We can turn that off as well. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Wait, what happened here? This is not right. This is the storage. Let's click on... There we go. Okay, so there are a number of apps. You don't necessarily need the Google Play Store. So you've got... I thought Libby and Overdrive were the same, but here they're listed as two different things. Tolino e-reader, which I don't have any experience with. Kobo and Kindle, those are the big two. So to have those in there is excellent, along with Libby. So it really does cover the bases, even without getting into the Google Play Store. So that's excellent. And then, of course, the PDF reader. They have some tools as well. Let's click on that. There's a little calculator. We already have a calendar, so it's odd they give you another one. They give you Chess, Dropbox, Blue Mail, which I don't use. And then there are a number of books you can actually download, and these are all free. So let's see, there's 5 books there. Let's go ahead and scroll. Okay, there's 5 more books. That's it. So you've got 10 books that you can download for free into their native reading app. So that, in a nutshell, is the general UI of this device. So pretty robust, I think, for being kind of an entry-level note-taking. A surprising amount of flexibility on the way that you can go into the Notes and Books apps and sort the lists. So it's pretty good for there's some devices that don't have nearly that level of complexity. Maybe not quite as good as a Books device, but pretty darn close. So yeah, that's just a nice quick overview of the system UI. And now we'll look into the notes and the books section. Okay, we're back, and we're going to look specifically at notes this time, and there's a couple ways you can go in. You can either go into the Notes app, and we were just in that a few minutes ago, or you can do a shortcut, or you can go ahead and click on this Create Note. So let's go ahead and do that, because you get more features by doing it this way than you did when we created those quick notes earlier. So it's pretty neat. Let's see what's involved here. All right, so right off the bat, this is unique. I've not seen this in other e-ink devices. Of course, other devices do have the opportunity to have a cover. I don't recall that being part of the setup, however, which is the case here. So we can either go with blank for no cover, or we can use one of these designs. And there's a second page, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. And just one more. So not an extensive list of covers, but then again, how many covers do you need? Let's pick this guy. There we go. And then let's look at the page. And here's the templates, and there's 5 pages of templates, so quite a few here. And for a small screen, that's fairly impressive. Let's cycle through. Okay, that's an odd one. Got some interesting designs here. Let's keep going. Various to-do lists in different formats. And the selection continues. Really impressive. Let's take a look. What happens when we go from portrait to landscape? Let's see how these... Okay, they have different templates for landscape. So if you go into landscape, it's a much smaller selection than in portrait. So let's go back to portrait. And yeah, I like a nice lined paper, so that's perfect. We'll click on that. And let's go ahead and we'll show you the typewriter in action. So we'll just call this okay. I'm going to go ahead and first off, we're going to create this. Oops, we didn't get the cover I wanted. don't believe. No, when we switched over. Now, I wonder how we can change the cover. Let's see. Nope. I may have to start over. Let's see. Let's go to settings. All right, let's start over. Before we do, those sounds are really starting to annoy me. So we're going to go ahead and turn that off. All right, here we go. Let's do this. If I hard press this, no. All right, we'll start over. Click on this, do a nice cover. And we'll call this second try. Okay, create button, like so. And there we go. Put you on the second page. Let's go back over to the cover page. And let's just write in here. Hello. All right. Cool. Okay. Let's just take some notes here. Let's write in. A little bit of a scratchy sound as you write on the screen. Not too bad. Somewhat reminiscent of books, so where it's not quite glassy. But it's toward that with a little bit of a scratchiness. Not bad. All right. So what we've been writing here is in this pen style here, a ballpoint pen. Let's go ahead and click on this one. Okay, that looks like a pencil. Let's take a look. Yes, pencil. Let's click on this one, which I believe is a mechanical pencil. Yep, let's click on this one, which looks more like a fountain pen. Okay. Yes, fountain pen. This looks like a brush. Yeah. There is some pressure sensitivity. We just saw it right there. Let's, like so. Okay, and that might be true of the others as well. I wasn't testing that on, but just know that's available. And here's a highlighter, like so. Okay. There's also a pretty robust erase function, as you would expect. So you click it once, you're on eraser, click it twice. There's a stroke eraser, an area eraser, I believe. A lasso eraser. Yep, that's what that is. What is this one? Oh, this is the size of the eraser. And then the final one is erase all. So let's go ahead and let's just go with that. You can erase with the back of the stylus, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, there we go. Okay, we have a lasso function. Let's click on that. All right, let's see how this works. Oh, weird. Okay, so you've got copy. You can cut and paste. I think that's related to OCR. I'm not sure, or you can delete it. Let's see if we can move it over. Yep. Very good. Let's take a look what this does. Yes, OCR. And we'll just ignore that. Okay. Oh, it brought on a little bit of that eye as well. So pretty nice lasso, a little odd graphical function there, but otherwise pretty usable. Here you can insert shapes. So the default is line, and then you can go with your 3 standard shapes there. Here we can add, here's some additional features. So this is like a text box by default. You can insert pictures. This is a grid. So we'll do that in a second, and then you can attach a link apparently. Let's go ahead and do the grid. So I'm going to go ahead and draw like so. Okay, it remembers it from the last time I did this. Let's see if we can, that's the thickness. Okay. Here you can add a row, so I can change the rows, so we'll make this a little simpler. And then we'll add some columns. Okay, so you can make a grid just like that. All right, and you can do layers. So obviously we already see we have a template background, but let's go ahead and add in, see how many layers we can add into this thing. I believe the answer is 5. Yep, 5 layers. The template plus 5 more on top of that. Clicking this, I believe, allows you to change the template. These arrows allow you to change the order of the layer. You can delete the layer. If you don't want to see it, you just click on the eyeball and the layer goes away. Not sure what this does. Merge. Okay, no, we don't want to do that. So pretty robust. 5 layers is actually pretty amazing. Now, if you're into sketching, that may not be enough. You know, I think people that sketch actually need a lot of layers. I can tell you for my use cases, which tends to be business and at home, I'm happy with the template in the top layer. Every once in a while, I might add a second layer, but that's about it. So having 5 layers outside maybe of sketching is pretty robust. So that's excellent. So that's the items on the side. If I click that X, it'll go out of the notebook. And also I should point out, kind of jumping ahead, but if I click on this icon, it will eliminate the entire menu. Kind of reminiscent, actually. There's a number of e-ink devices that have that kind of functionality, but this one feels a little Remarkable-esque. Maybe not quite as slick as the Remarkable, but they also have a little button over here that that activates the UI. So that's why I think about that. Here you can click on this and see the different pages in the notebook as thumbnails, like so. We'll go ahead, and then you have standard selections. Okay, you can, theoretically, you can create a little bookmark on the page for some reason. And you can also write a little, what they call a note mark to the page. Let's click on the next button. Okay, so we can insert additional pages either before or after. We can copy the page. OCR, we saw that earlier where we did the lasso and we highlighted it. It does convert to text. Let's go ahead and see it do that here. It's thinking about it. There we go, and it's perfect. Not that my handwriting was that hard, but and then you can actually format the text. Oh, it goes back to the first page as well. There you go. Hello. That was an exclamation point. Didn't miss that, but pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and get out of here. Okay, and then you could also, I believe there was a delete was the last function. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Yeah, delete the page there. Now we also have this ellipse with more. Here the OCR language is in English. I believe that's the only language available currently. Might be able to download others, I'm not as sure, but that's the default language. Actually, let's take a look at that. Let's see if we can download other languages. Yes. Ooh, it looks like quite a few, actually. Know we have a lot of international viewers, so let's make sure we get through here and show all the ones that are available. Wow, that is a really nice, deep library of languages to pick from. Okay, hopefully I didn't go too fast through that so you could see what's available. Let's go ahead and go back. Okay, this goes between pages, and also I believe if I tap on this, you go back. Oh no, you go to a little shortcut grid. You've got your back, forward, and refresh button. So That, in a nutshell, is the UI for the note-taking app. It is surprisingly sophisticated, again, particularly considering that it's an entry-level app, but a lot of these features are really elaborate. And we didn't talk about the search feature. Let's see if yeah, we have more to go here. So the search feature, this is the amazing thing about this device. And it's only Books does this as well, and I'm not aware of anybody else that has this powerful of a search feature. This can search for the handwriting. So let's search on the word. Okay, let's click on this and go there. There. Okay, so it's only picking that one page where there appears. Let's now pick hello. See, and it's picking up both pages because it recognizes the word hello. This obviously is in print, which is easy to recognize, but this is in cursive. If we go hi, it's only going to pick page 2. That is amazing. That's one of the best. That's right up there with Books in terms of recognition search feature. That's just really extraordinary. Very notable. Let's get out of thumbnails. Okay, let's keep going. I didn't realize we weren't finished here. Backup allows you to back up to a service, either the internal memory, or you can pick one of these services to use. I have not signed up for any of these services, so I haven't tested that functionality, but clearly it's available. Go ahead and get out of that. Thank you. Okay, you can email it to yourself. You can convert it, I believe, to PNG or PDF. And again, then you can send it to wherever you want. So pretty good export features there. All right. You can rename it. You can save the file, restore it. There's some info and so on. Let's click on settings to see if that's any different than, so here you can change the layout. Flip the order, flip the page. Let's do that just for fun. Not sure what that did actually. You have some pen calibration here, and then you have your screen refresh settings. So all in all, this is pretty amazing. The level of complexity, it's almost, for the price point of this device, it's almost too complicated. It almost has too many features. Not really, obviously, I'm being facetious in saying that, but what I'm suggesting is that for this type of a note-taking device, particularly the size, I would say more than anything, but also the price point, this is about as powerful of a note-taking app as you'll find. It matches. Books is on the edge and has the most complicated note-taking app, and this is not that far from it. I'm trying to think about what Books has that this doesn't off the top of my head, and I'm drawing a blank. I'm pretty sure that it's not quite as good as the Books device, but that's a technicality. I mean, this is really amazing how detailed this note-taking app is in its functionality. A little bit sluggish, and that's the point. I think you saw that as I was clicking on things and going through, and I want to emphasize a little bit, so much so that you notice it, but it doesn't really necessarily get in the way, in my opinion. But other than that, pretty amazing little note-taking apps. Let's go ahead and back out of this, and we'll go back into the shortcut bar, and if you go to All Notes, that takes you into the note-taking app accordingly. And let's see, I want to delete some of these. Let's see how we'll do manage. We'll get rid of this, and this. You can see there's a number of options. We want this one, boom, and now we're down to the one notebook. Go back home. And let's use this feature, by the way. We skipped over it earlier. This shows all the open apps, and you have the ability to sort here. Oh no, that cleared it all out at once. So that's the clear out button. Excellent. Okay. So if you're finding it to be sluggish, you can clear out any of the stuff being held in memory. All right, so that is the note-taking app. Very robust. A lot going on there. Okay, the last thing I wanted to do in kind of this walkthrough of this device is taking a look at the Books app, and we'll take a look. We'll glance at the ePub and we'll glance at the PDFs as well. Remember, or perhaps I don't remember if I called this out, I actually downloaded this book from their library. There was a handful of books available for free, Time Machine being one of those. And then this is their user manual, which also had to be downloaded, and that's for this device. Also a nice little touch. You don't normally see user manuals on devices. Sometimes you do, but not always, and this one has one. So anyway, let's take a look at the functionality. We'll start with the ePub book. Okay, now it's already in it, so let's just go ahead and do the page turning. See, it's pretty, maybe a touch slow, but that's really being nitpicky. This is pretty acceptable in terms of page turns. I don't really have anything particularly negative to say about it. So it's handling the ePubs just fine. You've got a little bookmark feature there. Let's see if there's a dictionary function. Huh, I guess not. Yeah, just a formatting function. We just highlighted it. So a little bit of, you can do a little bit of editing. Can we write on these? Oh, sure can. I don't know where. Okay, so there, yeah, if you click on it, you can change the pen type, the color. They do have different shades. I neglected to mention that. They have different grayscales. And of course the thickness. We are in a very low thickness, as we can see there. There's your progress meter. If I click on this, they've got some additional functions. Let's see what's under other. Oh, okay, I didn't realize we had swiping. Oh, there's no screen swiping. Swipe the left edge to adjust the brightness. Okay, let's take a look at that. I did not realize. How do we do that? Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. You tap certainly to move between pages. Did we have that feature on? Let's take a look at that again. Swipe left edge to adjust. Okay, let's turn the brightness on. Maybe that's the issue. Here, we'll do that here. Yeah, there you go. Okay, had to have it on, and then you go up and down, up to make it brighter, down. Nice. Not very many gestures that you can use. There's no, for example, swipe from below gestures on this device, but I guess at least in this particular app, you have the ability to do swiping. Interesting. Okay, so pretty good, pretty robust. Let's go ahead and get out of that. Take a look at, so now we're in the books section as opposed to the shortcut section. Here's the PDF reader. All right, and so you have your standard kind of writing tools here on the left, and then there are some, you can add pages, you can delete pages. There's some quick shortcuts. Let's click on that. All right, so you have a slide bar there. Let's take a look at the table of contents. There we go. Hyperlinks? Yes, there are. And there it is. So pretty good, pretty nice PDF. I would not generally, this PDF was made for this screen. Let's see if we can pinch and zoom here. Oh, we can. There we go. Okay, pretty, oh my. If I double tap. No, but we can. All right, and scroll. Okay, doesn't look like it's allowing me to scroll up and down, but not.
So a little bit of navigation. It might be able to do more than I'm aware of. See, there you're getting rid of. Oh, this I think this is autofit if I remember correctly. Oh no, that's to the page. So if I do any type of pinching, yeah, I get that to return to the normal. Let me try. Yeah, not great touch and swipe navigation on this. It's acceptable, but it's not particularly notable. Let's bring back the menu bar. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Not bad for a PDF reader. I don't think that, generally speaking, if you're trying to import PDFs onto a device, I don't think an 8-inch device is a good device to do that. 10 inches is better. The most ideal, at least for kind of a one-to-one experience, would be a 13-inch, but that comes with its own challenges and difficulties, particularly the cumbersomeness of the device. But on a 10-inch device, you bring a PDF in and you turn it this way, and it's pretty effective. You're looking at basically a half of a page of the PDF, and you can swipe up, so it works fairly well. This would be a bit of a challenge, and generally speaking, I would not the device. This is not the device's fault necessarily, but I would avoid PDF reading on a device like this. I just don't think it was particularly made for it. But in a pinch, a pretty decent and fairly robust. Not nearly. This is not nearly as good as what you'd find, say, in a Books device, which is a much more um, sophisticated experience. Let me click on this. Is this a text box? Yeah. Just making sure that I'm not leaving any of the, okay, just save an info, any of the functionality. Yeah, so this is more of what you would expect for this size of device and this the price of this device. This is a solid but certainly not breathtaking PDF reading experience. Where the ePub book was fairly solid. And the note taking is just way better than you would expect for something like this. So pretty interesting. All good, considering what you're getting at the price, I would say. But I'm going to save my any further opinion on that for the review, which will be in the next video. This concludes kind of an overview of the UI. If there's any questions you have, let me know. Anything I might have skipped over prematurely, please let me know. We've spent a lot of time looking at this device, though, so I think we've covered a vast majority of its functionality. So hopefully, if you're an interested buyer or just curious about what the Mobiscribe UI was about, hopefully this video helps. All right, thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day.